looking at whenever that front sight drops, next round comes off right away. Keep the weapon in line with your center, everything strong, including your core. Stay tight on the body, that's the key to it. You're not going to be relaxed in real life, and that's where rounds fly everywhere. Let's down here. I'm going to bring my weapon out, get my body in position. I'm going to place the weapon where I want the rounds to go, and that is as far as I go with looking at the sights. Once I get that check, my vision focuses on the target, and then from there, my body does the rest of the work.
Today?
Today's drill is working on reloads.
I think we should just call it a day.
Let me, if you don't mind, please. 23. Bring out the 40.
Teacher's pet.
Yeah, 40.
Just because.
It's unloaded.
Sorry?
It's unloaded.
Thank you.
Man, about the storm.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the last round, all right, the last mag is what we're looking for, okay? Your eyes make a momentary connection with the sights, just as you're setting to make sure that they're there, and then, do eyes open, you're looking only at the target. Don't cheat yourselves. You're looking at the target, okay? And from there, all you're doing is feeling the gun. Mentally, you're focused on your body. You loosen anything up, that's where you're going to start to see flyers. Tight on the body, core especially, and everything strong. There's no reason for that gun to tell you what to do. No reason for those rounds to go anywhere other than where you're looking. You understand that? You're in control. It all has to do with your focus on your body. You feel the gun. I want you guys to minimize the amount of space between each round, but not compromise the body position and the relationship of the gun and the body. Okay? All right. So everybody eyes and ears. Reload, make ready. Got a target that's got a face on it, I want the focus on the nose. If you've got one of the guys with a gas mask, the focus is on the filter on the other side. Alright, so when I say up, you're going to plant yourselves in a position, quickly get the sights on that pointed target, and right away go to work. Ready? Up! Same thing. Ready. Up. Ready. Up. Empty. Empty. Clear. Holster. Hands. I don't know what it is for yet. It's not going to be obviously sold publicly. A copy of it is going to Flexi, so they use my computer program as their official computer program since 2009 when I first trained all the instructors. And so they've asked for a copy of it as well, so they have it on file to keep on training all their instructors. And that's it really. Might take some clips and make a cool guy clip out of it. You gotta have that these days. That's already signed. Let you know what you're doing. Cool guy clip. We started doing that in Israel, just to shoot a short handful of years ago. And all these units coming, everybody's got freaking cool videos of their units. And our command said maybe it's time that we get up to speed here and we get a cool guy video. All right, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay. So, scenario. You enter into this environment where there is an attack going on. There are two threats that present themselves. One of them is about 15 to 20 yards off to your left, with an AK-47, and he is shooting at people in that direction there, so perpendicular to you. The second one is about 30, 40, 50 yards, right in front of you, shooting in your direction. Who do you engage first?
Him.
Which one?
Second one.
Why?
Because if you don't engage him and get him to stop doing what he's doing, then he's going to shoot you before you can help the innocent people. You got to shoot them.
Okay. Why is he more of a priority than the guy that's closer to you?
He's shooting at him,
Shooting in your direction.
which throws you off.
You can't accurately shoot at that first guy without stopping the rounds that are coming and distracting you.
Okay. So that is the correct answer. Who has a better chance at impacting us first in a short period of time?
Second guy.
The guy that is shooting in our direction. All he has to do is pick up on us and maybe he has to make a slight adjustment. If he's not already shooting at us, our weapon's already pointed at us, he just has to make a slight adjustment and we're going to get hit a lot quicker than the guy who has to perceive us and then reorient his body and his weapon to us. Okay? Excellent. Exact same predicament. Now this guy to my left, 15, 20 yards away, is also shooting in my direction. Both of them are shooting in my direction. Who do I engage first?
Closer one.
Why?
He also has a better chance of hitting you first, probably.
Why is that?
Less distance, easier shot.
Excellent, right? Understand that this lack of distance goes both ways. If we have no distance, we can guarantee our shots. That guy has no distance, he can guarantee his shots as well. At that point, it's a matter of who's got the better game, mentally, physically, and tactically. Excellent, all right? So he becomes our priority because he obviously has an easier chance of being able to hit us, okay, because he's closer. So this drill is our order of priorities. We're gonna have two shooters going at the same time. Starting point is gonna be about here. We have a strip of 3 targets. Target number 1, closest to us, target number 2, halfway, and then target number 3, directly at the back. You're gonna stand so that you are directly in line with target number 3, and you've got target number 1 slightly to your right, target number 2 slightly to your left, okay? And exact same thing on that strip there. You're gonna be at the neutral ready. The command that you're gonna get is a number, either 1, 2, or 3. That number becomes your priority. So, if the number is 2,
your first target that you're engaging immediately is 2. Okay? And we're going to do 3 rounds per target. Okay? So right away, weapon up, 1, 2, 3 on target number 2. You still have 2 threats, 1 and 3. Who now becomes our priority in this predicament? Number 1. Excellent. So you finish 3 on 2, you right away transition to 1, 3 on 1, and who is your last threat?
3.
Number 3, transition to 3, 3 on 3. Okay? If we call out 1, obviously it's going to be number 1 first, 1, 2, 3. Next is who? 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 1, 2, 3. If we call out 3, your priority is who? 3, 1, 2, 3 on 3, and then who do you go to? 1, 1, 2, 3, and then 2. You guys understand? We have a couple variables that come into play here. So the first one is our order of priorities. And that is who the primary threat is, the one that poses the most immediate danger to us. And that's going to be indicated by the number that we call out. What is the other variable that we have here? We have 3 targets that are all positioned at 3 different distances in relation to us. We understand that distance is a huge factor in our ability to do what? To accurately hit. Very good. Okay? We have to ensure that we're hitting, especially if we're talking about a public-oriented place here, which we understand also the importance of closing the distance so that we get rid of all these obstructions in between us. But if we're posted here and we have to engage, what do we have to do with every target as we transition between 1, 2, and 3? What do we have to do with our shooting?
Slow down.
We probably have to slow down. We have to try to focus on sights as much as we possibly can. We have to guarantee the hits as well. Okay? Number 1, how are we engaging target number 1? It'll probably be a lot quicker, and you probably should need your sights. Pretty close distance. We transition to number 2. We're now at a point that we probably are going to have to slow the rhythm down a little bit, and we probably are going to have to get a little bit more behind the elements that will allow us to be more accurate. When we get to number 3, it's quite a significant distance. You got to hit from here, so you're probably going to be a lot slower, and you're going to try to focus in on those sights. Okay? Everybody understand the drill? Any questions? Okay, so let's get our first 2 shooters up. We're going through all 3 mags. Okay, so who's up over here? Good. Right over here, so in line with target number 3. Okay, so identify 1, 2, and 3. Very good. Come step back a little bit. There you go. Okay, you've identified your targets, 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Okay, everybody, eyes and ears. All right, load, make ready. And neutral ready. Neutral ready. Ready. 2. Check your weapon and back. Ready. 1. Quick. Eyes on the threat. Good. Very good. Ready. 3. Good. Ready. 2. Three. Everybody's empty. Clear and hold. Hands. Okay. Line is safe. Pick up your mags. Next 2 up. All right. Load, make ready. Ready. 3. 2. Eyes on threat, eyes on threat. One. Two. One. I say, take the mag, and shooters up.
One second.
Yep.
My bullets are right there.
Sorry?
My bullets are right there. I'm gonna go grab them.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. No problem. Okay, load make ready.
I know.
All right, all good. Ready. 2. Ready. 3. Quick. Eyes on. Ready. 1. Ready. 2. Two. Good. Clear. Holster. Hands. Line is safe. Pick up your mags. Okay, we're gonna do this drill one more time. When you finish to shoot, don't reload your mags. Okay?
Line yourself up at target 3. Okay, load and make ready. Come to neutral ready. And shoot! Three. Quick, fast, in a hurry. One. Two. From your hands. Okay, pick up your mag. Next two shooters. Okay, load and make ready. Come to neutral ready. One! make ready. Come to neutral ready. Two.
We're doing it all live now, okay? Don't go faster than you can control everything that you're doing. This is still all a brand new methodology, okay? And I'd rather you guys walk away with an understanding and a retention than with running through a drill quickly, okay? The first scenario is the same as where we left off during the drive. The setup is the same, only now there's just an added bad guy in there, okay? Don't go faster than you can properly assess. That's the most important thing. Don't do things arbitrarily. You're trying to find a threat. The way that this all looks right now, even when we ran everything dry, the level of complexity and confusion, an active shooter predicament has two stages to it. There is the common stage that everybody is used to and most law enforcement deal with, which is the aftermath. The event is already done. It's over. Shooter killed himself, he surrendered, waiting to be apprehended, or he took off. Then there's that first stage, not the most common stage for law enforcement officers to find themselves in, and that is where the shooting is still actively going on. Where you have people running all over the place trying to escape. You've got civilians hiding. You have a shooter actively moving around. That's where all the chaos happens. And so the way that it feels when we run through the drills, as we did, that is what it's like in real life. It's very confusing. And there's a lot of variables that keep on moving. The dynamic keeps on changing. So even in real life, we talk about, we have to move fast, but there's no point in getting somewhere fast if you've missed anything along the way. So yes, you got to move fast, but you still have to be effective. And that's important here. We drill that in training so that training is successful, but it has to be the same in real life, because in real life what we miss is potentially that shooter in the crowd. Okay? So just make yourselves efficient and effective and think about what you're doing. There's only one direction of fire, which is downrange, that direction only. If there happens to be a shoot target that is sitting at a lateral side here, then that's an oversight on our part. It shouldn't be there. Don't engage it, okay? Acknowledge it, yell it out that you have a threat there. That way at least you know for yourself you've picked up on a threat, and then we can fix whatever the problem is. But all shooting is only done to that direction there, okay? We're going to be moving. We're going to start here, the exact same configuration, one at a time. We'll take the first guy. We're going to run down, and we'll go through the exact same way. So as you're moving down, your weapon will be facing that way, okay? But there's no shooting that way. Finger obviously is off the trigger. Universal cover mode, all the same. Everybody knows universal cover mode, right? You know what that is? Yes? Yeah, familiar with the term?
No,
Right.
not the term.
Universal cover mode? No?
Not
I
the
guess
term.
it's a Canadian thing. Off target, off trigger, on target, intent to cover, off trigger, on target, intent to fire, on trigger. Okay? Very simple. Whatever term you guys use for that. Unless you are intending to shoot, fingers off the trigger.
That's the term right there. Exactly.
We never made it something sound cool. We just said finger off the trigger unless you're going to shoot him.
Canadian and the bureaucracy, that's what we do.
Got to shorten it up. I like that.
Excellent. Okay. Good. Any questions before we begin? All right. So, stand by one sec. Everybody's here. Okay, range is hot. All right, go ahead, face that way. To the left! And then. Okay, excellent. Good job.
That way?
Yeah, I guess we're good. Okay, just remember that when you hear the 90, you're not here. You're here.
Okay.
Right? Okay, excellent. From here on in, all the shooting, if you are engaging, you will keep engaging until either Jimmy or myself knows what you tell you to try to stand. Okay? All right. Movement range. Okay. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Good, yeah. All right, holster up. Don't forget, we finished the shoot. What do we do? Check your weapon. Good. All right, hold it right. Okay, ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Door left! Good. And yeah, all right. Holster up.
What is it? Is it when you step in? Is it peek and then go to the target?
Okay.
Or peek and then...
So we're by ourselves right now. Why do we do that search line? We do it because we know that we have multiple weapons in the room. And as we're spread and as we have this chaos moving in there, we might suddenly have to engage. And if our weapons are spread, we're going to get potentially threats in between us, right? So when we know that we have another officer and multiple officers in there with us, we keep that search line so that we have full range arcs of fire. We're by ourselves right now. So now we go directly to the
Just do a peek. No.
Exactly. Okay, so if I
Did you really peek?
end up on the
Yes, right.
90, engage, take my weapon, quick peek, and then I go. Okay? Excellent. Okay, do it again. Stand by one sec. Good. All right, range is hot. Go! Door left! Eyes on threat, eyes on threat, eyes on threat. Ah. Down. One. And X. Excellent work. Okay. What happened? What was your frustration?
I tried to reload. I knew I had it on.
Yeah.
I tried this, and I must have flipped it in my hand, so it
Oh,
wasn't.
okay. No problem. As long as you realize.
Yeah.
Okay, we finished. All right. Ready. Three, 2, 1, go! Door left! What do you got? Eyes on threat, eyes on threat, eyes on threat. Okay. Okay, what happened? What was your frustration?
Just didn't see the gun. This guy.
That way. Number one, you are reminding yourself of what needs to be done. So you're walking through it. Number two, you're regulating your stress. You're distracting your mind right now from some of that stress stimulus. Number three, what happens when we're under stress? The conscious mind shuts off, can't function anymore, so everything goes into subconscious mode. When you start talking to yourself and you start giving yourself orders and directions, you're forcing, that is a cognitive mind process. You're forcing your mind to jumpstart again. You're giving your mind information, you're saying start processing right now. Your mind starts to think. When your conscious mind starts to think, you're regulating your stress and you are able to now regain control of the primary senses that you need. We get to that opening, what are we doing on the door? What are we looking for?
Threat. Person with a gun.
Specifically, keep going, keep dissecting it. So, what are we looking for? What are we looking at?
Gun in a hand.
Hands,
What?
hands, 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 hands. Remind yourself of what you're doing. Okay? All right, excellent. Okay. Remote jumping out. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Eyes on threat. Excellent. Good. What do you got? What do you got? Good. Good. Excellent. Excellent. Corners. Go. Good. Holster up. Excellent. Okay, grab your mags.
Kill him.
That's word.
Go left!
Eyes on threat. Good. Eyes on threat. Eyes on threat. Eyes on threat. Down. Good. And down. All right. Good. Reload. Oh, you did reload?
Oh, yeah.
So you empty now?
I'm
Okay.
empty, yep.
Okay. Good. So clear and holster.
Two.
Action. All right. So, as you guys go, you do your thing. Jimmy will be with one of you. I'll be behind another one as a safety measure. Number 1, post on the door. You'll have an engagement pretty early on. As soon as number 1 gets to that door on that first angle, there is going to be a threat. Okay. You have to make sure that you're shooting the right target. But there is a threat, so you're already engaging on your first 45. Number 2 is doing his thing, passing it. Okay? Gets over the other side, weapon drops into the room, muzzle drops into the room. On your 45, you're going to have a threat. So by this point here, both of you are engaging threats on the 45. Okay? There is no safety concern because the angles are very clear. It's 45 into the room, you're not pointing weapons at each other. Like before, we will direct you when the threat is down. That'll be taps on the head and a verbal down. That means the threat is down. Okay? Once you get the down, you keep on working. So from 45, we go to where? We go to 90s. Okay? There might be a threat on the 90 as well. This one here, if there is, you're both engaging. 90 is neutral. You're both engaging until you get the threat, the down command. Once you get the down command, we're doing what now from the 90? Ready, go. 45, there's no more engagement at that point because all the threats you've engaged, once they're down, they're out of play. You've already engaged them, okay? 45, 90. What happens on the 90?
Clear.
Clear? Clear. Now we go back to the wall all the way to the end. Search, then we move. We break the line. Okay? Clear?
Clear.
Awesome. All right. So, who are first 2 up? Sure. 1 and 2. Excellent.
Are you playing?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, all 3 of you. Load, make ready. Face down range. Load, make ready. Okay. So, I'll take 2. You take 1.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Get on this side. Okay.
Ready. All right, weapons out. Okay, so we're just gonna have our weapon. Yep. Here's good. 3, 2, 1, go.
Move left! Go left! Cover it! Ready! Ready!
Go,
Ready!
5, 90.
Clear! Clear!
Good.
Search! Search!
Good. Go to your threats. And X. Excellent. Okay, holster up. Good.
Fail search.
Grab your mags.
10 rounds just doesn't cut it.
What's that?
10 rounds doesn't cut it.
No, it does not. Okay, do it again. Yeah, no, wait, I just took those behind, so they probably fell when I got shot.
Were you 1 or 2 that time?
That was 2.
Okay, excellent. All right, how many rounds do you have in your weapon right now?
I'm sorry?
You have a mag in your weapon?
Yes.
And a full mag there. Good,
Correct.
perfect. Okay, exact same thing. Okay,
Oops, sorry.
range is hot. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go.
Door left!
Door left! With you! Quick, eyes on threat, eyes on threat. Behind cover. Down.
Go.
Ready?
Go!
Sort it up.
Empty?
Yeah, I forgot he was already down.
It's okay. No harm in shooting him again.
Yeah.
You have another mag?
I do.
Why didn't you reload when you're empty? Never be empty. Okay, holster. And, okay. Clear, holster. All right, good. Come. Grab your mags. All right. There's one more mag down there. There's Mike. Okay. Good. All right. It looks really good. It looks good.
Door left!
Go left! With you!
Ready!
Go! Go!
Clear!
Clear!
Good. Search!
Search!
Search, go. Excellent. Holster up. Excellent job. Excellent. Good. Grab your bags.
Go left!
Go left! With you!
Ready!
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 Go!
Ready! Clear!
Clear!
Wait for it.
Search!
Search! Search! All right, holster up. Okay, grab your mags.
I saw you eyeballing that camera.
Go!
Go left! Go left! With you! Ready! 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 Go!
Go!
Clear! Clear! Search! Search!
Right. Good. Okay. Clear holster. You still got rounds?
Couple.
And your weapon? Okay, come here.
Is that yours?
Range is hot!
It was the onset of the Second Intifada when Hamas changed their doctrine to say attack Israeli civilians, and we had rampages of suicide bombings and active shooter attacks. It was non-stop. So I was in reserve duty, helping to set up a new initiative. We have settlements, we have little towns that are within the West Bank, and every town has its own special response team. It's a quick reaction team comprised of residents of that town who have military backgrounds. There's a head security officer who's a liaison to the IDF. He has an armory with all the weapons, and he selects the people in the town that have proper military backgrounds. They become part of this quick reaction team. They get full training qualification on active shooter intervention, and that is their job. Something happens within that settlement, the alarm goes off, they grab their weapons, and they go to work. So I was there helping to set that operation up and to run some of the training. I was posted out of one of the settlements that was a complete hotspot. At the intersection, we had car bombs going off, suicide bombers, terrorists coming right in from close by Arab town, sneaking in at nighttime with knives, with guns to carry out attacks. And we had an outpost. It was about a kilometer and a half. I don't know what that is in miles, sorry. All right. About a kilometer and a half away from the main settlement where we were. And it was a dirt road with hills that led to it. Middle of the day, we get an alert that there's a terrorist that is heading towards that outpost. That outpost only had a handful of homes there. I grab my weapon, M16, and I start running. I hate running. I'm running down this dirt road with my weapon, my vest on. My heart rate is pounding like crazy because I'm running to a potential active shooter scenario right now. I have about a kilometer and a half of distance to go. I'm going up and down hills. I can't stop and I cannot slow down. I have to run as fast as I can. I sprinted from my residence. I sprinted. That didn't last too long, obviously. And then I'm jogging, and then I'm trying to push myself. The way that we all felt in the last handful of rounds here, that's how I felt about 3/4 of that whole distance. My mouth is already going dry. I can't stop. I can't stop. Every time my mind would say, I gotta just maybe take a second just to catch my breath, I would start thinking, I take that second, that's a dead man, woman, or child in that settlement. So I kept on going. I got about 3/4 of the way, and 2 of our guys on a little motorcycle come whipping by me, which was a relief for me, obviously, because I was gonna make it there before them. But this is how I felt. Now, had I gotten there, by the time we all got there, the terrorist didn't end up showing up. So who knows what happened? Changed his mind, saw us approaching, turned around, I don't know. But had I gotten there and he was there, I would have had to fight. I would have had to fight, looking like, feeling like, acting like I just woke up in the morning, had a jug of coffee, was all ready to go. Not like I just ran 1.5 kilometers, panting, breath, and lactic acid buildup in my legs. I can barely walk. That's how you have to fight. If I had an engagement, every round that I fired would have had to been in that circle, because there is no choice. I had to get there, and I had to fight effectively if I wanted to fight. Physical, tactical, mental. A true warrior isn't somebody who wears this uniform. It's somebody who does justice to this uniform. It's somebody who pushes themselves every step of the way to be the best that there is in this line of work. And they support that by being the best that they can be. If it takes you 1 minute to get there, if it takes you 10 minutes to get there, there's nothing you can do about that. As long as those 10 minutes, you didn't stop, you gave 100% and you got there. Understand that? That's what this drill is all about. That's what this drill is all about. Like the drill? That's an awesome drill. Okay. I have some awards. Because in North America, you have to get certificates and awards. I got participation awards too. Andy, one of our CTO employees. Good stuff, brother.
That's cool.
So, I don't know here, we're both in second place.
You take second, I'll take third. I'll take second on that. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. And we'll see you guys
Thank
too.
you.
Pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Grab your weapons.
Awesome, thank you.
Pleasure, guys. Thank you all. We'll grab your weapons. We're gonna grab these targets, put them back in their stands, and we're going live from here. We'll continue live with the drills.